Alaska is one of the most beautiful places on Earth. Endless forests, towering mountains, and vast untouched wilderness stretch for thousands of miles. Every year, thousands of people travel here searching for adventure and freedom. But for some of them, that adventure becomes their last. In this massive and mysterious land, people vanish without a trace. No bodies, no clues, no answers. Over the years, thousands of disappearances have been reported in Alaska. Some cases are explained, but many remain unsolved. So what is really happening in this remote wilderness? Why do so many people disappear in Alaska? Alaska, the last frontier. Alaska is often called the last frontier, and for good reason. It is the largest state in the United States, covering more than 1.7 million square kilometers. Yet despite its massive size, it has one of the smallest populations in the country. Most of the land remains completely untouched by modern civilization. Huge areas of Alaska are filled with thick forests, frozen mountains, glaciers, and remote valleys where humans rarely go. Some regions are so isolated that there are no roads connecting them to nearby towns. The only way to reach certain locations is by small airplane or boat. This isolation is one of the things that makes Alaska so attractive to adventurers. People come here to experience nature in its purest form. They come to hike, hunt, fish, and explore landscapes that feel almost untouched by the modern world. But this same isolation also makes Alaska incredibly dangerous. When something goes wrong in such a remote place, help may be hundreds of miles away. The reality of missing persons in Alaska. Over the past several decades, Alaska has seen an unusually high number of missing person cases. Since the late 20th century, thousands of people have been reported missing across the state. Some reports suggest that more than 16,000 disappearances have occurred since the 1980s. Many of these cases involve hikers, hunters, and travelers who were exploring remote areas. In some situations, abandoned equipment or empty vehicles are found. Sometimes campsites are discovered with personal belongings left behind. But the people themselves are never located. What makes these cases so disturbing is the lack of answers. Search teams often spend days or weeks looking for clues, but the wilderness rarely gives up its secrets. For families waiting for news about their loved ones, the uncertainty can last for years. The mystery of the Alaska Triangle. One of the most fascinating theories behind Alaska's disappearances is the legend of the Alaska Triangle. This mysterious region stretches between three major locations: Anchorage, Juneau, and Utqiagvik. Many people believe that unusual events happen more frequently inside this area. Over the years, thousands of people have reportedly vanished within this triangular region. But it is not just hikers or travelers. Several aircraft have also disappeared while flying over the area. Because of these strange incidents, some people compare the Alaska Triangle to the famous Bermuda Triangle in the Atlantic Ocean. Both places are surrounded by stories of unexplained disappearances and mysterious events. While scientists often say these theories are exaggerated, the large number of strange cases in the region continues to spark curiosity and speculation. The disappearance of hail bogs. One of the most famous unsolved cases connected to Alaska happened in 1972. A small airplane carrying several passengers disappeared while flying over the wilderness. Among those on board was a U.S. politician named Hale Boggs. The plane was traveling between Anchorage and Juneau when it suddenly vanished from radar. What followed was one of the largest search operations in American history. Military aircraft, helicopters, and rescue teams searched thousands of square kilometers of wilderness. But despite weeks of searching, no wreckage was ever found. There were no signs of the plane, no survivors, and no explanation for what happened. To this day, the disappearance of that aircraft remains one of Alaska's greatest mysteries. The harsh and unforgiving environment. While mysterious theories capture people's imagination, many experts believe the real explanation lies in Alaska's environment. The state's wilderness is one of the most extreme and unforgiving environments on Earth. Temperatures during winter can drop far below freezing. Powerful snowstorms can appear suddenly, turning a peaceful landscape into a life-threatening situation within minutes. Even during summer, conditions can still be dangerous. Thick forests make it easy to lose direction, and rugged mountains create natural obstacles that can trap travelers. In such an environment, even experienced explorers can quickly find themselves in serious danger. A small mistake, like taking the wrong path or underestimating the weather, can turn into a deadly situation. Dangerous wildlife. Another major danger in Alaska's wilderness comes from its wildlife. The state is home to some of the largest and most powerful animals in North America. Brown bears, black bears, wolves, and moose roam freely across many parts of Alaska. Although attacks are relatively rare, encounters with these animals can be extremely dangerous. Moose, for example, are surprisingly aggressive when they feel threatened. A frightened moose can charge at a human with incredible speed. Bears, especially when protecting their cubs, can also become very dangerous. For people traveling alone in remote areas, wildlife encounters can quickly turn into life-threatening situations. The difficulty of search and rescue. When someone disappears in Alaska, rescuers face enormous challenges. The size of the state alone makes search operations incredibly complicated. In many areas, there are no roads or easy access points. Search teams often rely on helicopters or small planes to reach remote locations, but bad weather can ground aircraft for days at a time. Dense forests, deep snow, and rugged mountains also make it difficult for ground teams to search effectively. Even with modern technology like GPS tracking and thermal cameras, finding a missing person in such a massive wilderness can be extremely difficult. Sometimes search teams spend weeks looking for someone without finding any trace at all. Isolation and human factors. Another factor that contributes to disappearances in Alaska is isolation. Many communities in the state are separated by vast distances and surrounded by wilderness. For some people, living in such remote conditions can be emotionally challenging. Loneliness and isolation may affect mental health, especially during long winter months when daylight becomes limited. There have been cases where individuals chose to leave their lives behind and disappear intentionally. Others may have encountered dangerous situations or accidents in remote areas where no one was around to help. These human factors make it even harder to determine exactly what happened in many disappearance cases. Strange stories and unexplained events. Over time, Alaska has also become known for strange stories told by locals and explorers. Some hikers claim they felt as if they were being watched deep inside the forest. Others have reported hearing unusual sounds echoing through the mountains at night. Some people even claim to have seen mysterious lights in the sky above remote valleys. There is no scientific evidence proving these stories are connected to the disappearances. However, they add to the sense of mystery that surrounds Alaska's wilderness. For many people, these unexplained events make the disappearances feel even more unsettling. A land of beauty and danger. Alaska remains one of the most breathtaking places on Earth. Its landscapes are wild, powerful, and incredibly beautiful. But hidden within that beauty is a darker reality. The same wilderness that attracts adventurers can also swallow them without a trace. Harsh weather, dangerous wildlife, and vast empty landscapes create a place where survival is never guaranteed. Some disappearances can be explained by accidents or natural dangers. Others remain mysteries that investigators may never fully solve.